Hey everyone, welcome back to Pop Out Workshop. Today's video, I want to show you two new pieces of equipment that I have in the shop that's going to allow you to very easily use a spare bedroom in your house to be able to do a side business. And it is the Loklik vinyl cutter and the heat press machine. These are very easy to be able to use, easy to be able to set up, and you can start making money or just enjoy the hobby very easily with these two machines. In this kit, you also get the AC adapter. You get the cable to be able to plug in and connect to the computer. You have the blade holder and two blades that are the 45 and two blades that are the 60 degrees. And then, of course, you have a pen holder as well. Now, one of the items that I also received was this package of the heat transfer vinyl. This has 12 different colors that you can use for the different projects that you have. So this is a nice addition to add to the kit when you purchase this. Now, one of the things that you're going to need also is a cut mat that goes on the vinyl machine. Now, my particular machine did not come with one. I don't know if that was an accident or if it just wasn't placed in the order. But either way, I didn't have one, so I had to pick up one of the cut mats. It is going to be required to have one of these cut mats to be able to cut the vinyl. Of course, you're also going to get in this kit the warranty information. You're also going to get this manual. Please do not throw away this manual, because one of the first things that you're going to see is when you open up this manual, it has a link right here where you can download the free software to be able to operate your vinyl cutter. In addition to that, a couple of pages later, you have this QR code right here that you can actually download different parameters for being able to cut different types of materials. And it's not just the Loklik materials. It does have other manufacturers' materials on there, so you'll know exactly the settings to be able to use in the software to be able to cut the different items. Very handy to have. I used that QR code and printed out the parameters, and this is a very complete list. And you can see it has the different manufacturers on here, the different types of products that you can actually cut, and it gives you all the different cut settings that you need. When you open this up for the first time, you're going to have two pieces of tape, one on each side. When I removed the tape, it left some glue residue on there that I need to be able to clean off. I used some 91% alcohol to remove that, and that removed it very easy without damaging the finish on the machine. That looks great. Do the same thing over here. And that just washes right off. Now that all the tape residue is gone, let's open up the window. You have this little tab here you can just lift up, and that'll open up the bottom drawer. Now this also has a storage area where you can store different items, and that's really all that's necessary to be able to keep those bits from sliding around. Okay, this will hold the bits nicely. We'll close the door, and that will hold them. Let's turn this unit on now. We'll hold this down for a couple of seconds. And let's put one of the bits in. We're using a 45-degree bit to be able to put in. And it's real simple to be able to do. You have this little area right here you can just depress. You can drop that in. And that is the bit now is loaded. We'll open up this little handle, drop in the bit. And the bit is in place now. And so we don't lose the pen holder, I'm going to put it in also. and close the door. Now I'll add the extra bit right here. That way the bits will be able to be stored right there, and that'll take care of it. Now, one of the things that we have not talked about is what type of materials can you use the heat transfer vinyl on. Well, from the manufacturer, it recommends that you can use 100% cotton. In fact, what I would like to do is take it one step further and say use the 100% cotton pre-shrunk material. And that is going to give you the best results. From there, you can use 100% polyester, which you're going to have to be careful with temperatures. I'll tell you that right now. You can also use the poly and cotton blends, and you can use denim as well. Now, what type of material can you not use with the heat transfer vinyl? Well, I would not use this on wool, on acetate, silk. Those type of materials, you can actually damage the cloth itself, and you should not use it on acrylic or waterproof type materials. It's just not going to stick. When you first turn on the heat press with this power button, the default temperature is 210 degrees and 20 seconds. Now, while this is heating up, you're going to have a red light. Once this light turns to green, then the machine is at the 210 degrees with the 20 seconds. Now let's look at each one of these controls that we have here. This, of course, is the power button that will turn it on and off. And then this is the temperature, and you can tell with the little icon that it has, it looks like a thermostat. This will adjust your time, and it looks like a little clock. The three buttons down here, the first one is the modes. You can switch this and you can move to different modes. So that's 300 for 15 seconds. So you can go through the different modes. So that's mode 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you'll be back to 1. The next section, this right here, allows you to be able to put in custom temperatures. And then this last one is an auto setting. When you have the green light here, what I like to do is pull out this tray and set your t-shirt onto the board. And of course, if you have any tags or anything, please remove those. And we want to set this out where it's nice and even and smooth across your whole work area. And this is a 15 by 15 work area. Then we're going to slide that in and we're going to preheat it. And what this does is help to eliminate any moisture that would be in this material. So we'll go through the cycle, and I'll just have it set for this temperature with the 20 seconds. We're counting down, we're at 5 seconds, and then it'll stop. This will raise back up, and I'll be able to pull it out. At this point, this shirt is now hot, and now I can put down the logo that I want to be able to have for the artwork, and now I can then run it. But this is an important step that you do not want to forget. When you select the different modes, see mode 1 is 300 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 seconds. If I go to mode 2, you can see that is 320 degrees Fahrenheit for the 15 seconds. Mode 3 is 330 degrees Fahrenheit with 20 seconds. And then mode 4 is 390 degrees for 40 seconds. To be able to get out of the mode setting, just hold this down for about 2 seconds. And you can see when I push temp, that's where I can manually adjust it. It's back to 210. Now, while it's actually heating your shirt, if you need to have an emergency stop, you can push and hold any of these buttons down, and it will stop and it will raise back up. Now for the heat transfer vinyl that I'm using, I can go to mode 2, and that's going to bring it up to 320 degrees Fahrenheit for the 15 seconds. You can see how this light has turned red, and that would mean that it's not yet at the temperature, and it will continue to work to increase that temperature. Once it does, it'll turn green. When you use the link in the manual, this is the window that is going to open up, and you can choose the operating system that you're using for your particular computer. Now I'm using the Windows, so I'm going to select the Windows setting and then download the software into my computer. From there, the next step is to go over to my file folder, and I'm looking in my downloads file folder right there, and then you'll see the software. Now this has a Windows installer in it, so you just click on this folder and you can follow step by step being able to set this up into the my laptop. All of the hard work is done for you, and all you need to do is just follow these different steps to be able to install the software onto the computer. Once that is done, you can go back to your desktop and you'll see the icon. You can click on the icon and open up the software. Now I have some security protocols in here that I need to step through, and I'll do this off camera. The next step is you'll see this screen where you register the software and establish your email and password. Then you'll be able to log in. At this point, you'll be able to see the welcome message from the Loklik Idea Studio and a little tutorial. Don't skip this tutorial. It's going to give you a lot of basic information that's going to really speed up the learning curve to be able to get you up and running very quickly. The software is divided into 3 different categories. This first section is called Canvas. This is the design screen. This is where you'll import in your different designs, be able to work with them, add text, and prepare it to be able to cut on the vinyl cutting machine. The next section is called the library. Now this is over 12,000 different images that you can use to start your designs with. You can take these designs and change them, alter them, add the text to them, do whatever you wish. But this is a huge library of over 12,000 different designs to be able to work with in this free software. The third section is called My Zone, and this is where you can store all of your different projects. You have the ability to create new folders and be able to keep all of your different projects completely organized in this section, and be able to recall them to be able to duplicate projects very easily with this software. So if you've gone through the tutorial, you know that the canvas is your working area, and if you go to the library, this is where you have all this different artwork that you can use for your different designs. And of course, you have it broken down by the different types, whether it's food and beverage, love and celebrations, employment, education. There are just so many different possibilities. And then over here on the third category is My Zone, and this is where you can save the different logos and things that you do with your particular projects. But let's go back up to the canvas and let's go through some of these different things. Of course, this first one is for a new file, and this is where you can import your file into the software. Of course, you have a save button. You can actually print it out, and you have an undo and a redo. Over here, you can select all of your artwork. You have your cursor and your different paths. You can rotate your image. You have your text button, and then you have your shapes menu that you can actually draw the different shapes, whether it's a rectangle, oval, polygon, or a line tool. And you also have an offset tool. So these are a lot of the basic commands that you're going to see on any different software. And down here, this is your alignment tools right here. And this is where you can flip it horizontal, or you can flip vertical, and then you have all of these different things where you can unite it together or group it together. You can subtract the different objects, and these are similar type commands, just a little bit different names that you have here. And of course, you can group and ungroup your different layers, and you have the layers command to be able to show you exactly where it would be if you do multiple layers. So this little icon, you can actually see this where it's sending it to the back, and you're just sending it backward, but not all the way to the back. So these little icons are very intuitive. That shows you exactly what's taking place. But let's get started. Now, when you first open this up, it's going to be in millimeters. And for most of you, you're probably going to work in millimeters. However, if you want to work in inches, you can come right up here to this little corner, and you can right-click this, and then you can change this to inches if you prefer working in inches or if you want to work in pixels. So for right now, I'm just going to switch this over to the inches, and I want to, let's just type in a word for the Loklik. So we'll take the text menu, and we'll come down, and I already have that in here, and then I can take and make this bigger by grabbing the little handles, and it actually will say this is 4.6 inches. The height is 1.2 inches. So it gives you a lot of good information right there to begin with. And you can also just, with a holding down of the left mouse, you can position this anywhere that you want. And usually, to be able to make sure that you don't waste a lot of material, it's going to be at that top left-hand corner, or it may start out over here. But you can position this anywhere that you wish. Now, if you right-click on this, you can see where you can copy, paste, delete, and you can also move it through these different layers right there. You can also group it together. So there's a lot of different features here that you have to work with also. You can also change the font. You have your fonts menu over here, and I can just drop this down. We can open this up, and you can see the different fonts that you can choose from in the software itself. There's a nice selection of font, but you also can go to your system, which is into your computer, and I'm sure you're going to have even more fonts to be able to choose from. If I wanted to change fonts, I could change the font just at the click of the button, and you can see how that's going to look. So you have a wide range of different choices, and you can see it instantly when you're doing this. Let's go back over to the Loklik. This is the one that we were using, and there's our logo right there that we can use. We can position it right up here in this particular corner, and we can prepare it for cutting. Something else I want to show you too, I showed you have a rotate command up here. It has a shortcut listed as an R. I can click on this and rotate it, and just by rotating the mouse, I can change this to any different direction that I want. So let's get out of this for a second, and now we're back in the regular mode, but you can come down to the very bottom of the screen, and you can see where it has rotate. So just by selecting the R on the keyboard, now using that shortcut, I can do the same thing. So learning the shortcuts is a nice thing to be able to do, to be able to work with your different designs quicker. And then we're going to go over to the cut settings, and we're going to set up the machine. To turn this machine on, you have the power button right here. Just hold that down for a couple of seconds, and you can see that it turns on. If you just push the button, not going to do anything. You got to hold it down for a couple of seconds. And now it's ready. And when you first get this board, you're going to need to take this film off of it. And that is sticky. Then we're going to take this material, and I'm going to cut a section of it. Now you have a shiny side, and then you have the paper side. You need to make sure on the heat vinyl that the shiny side will go down. So I'm going to put this right up here at this top corner. Put it right there. And that will come all the way down like that. And that seals that to the edge really good. Then I'll put this right up in here, and I can load this. Now I'm sliding this right up to the point where it stops right here at these wheels. That's as far as you want to go. So when you have the machine set up, you have the Loklik crafter. That's the machine, and we have this connected with the USB. It is the 12x12 mat that we're using, and I'm going to be cutting the Loklik, and I'm going to be using this brand material. It's a basic heat transfer vinyl. These are the settings that I need to have, and I need to make sure that the canvas is mirrored on the horizontal. Now it's not going to show here, but it's doing it. Then over here in the cut settings, we're going to load the machine. I'm going to click the load. And you see that brings it right up to there. And when I hit cut, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see how it did mirror this, and it put it over in the right hand top corner. So now I'm going to hit start. Okay, so it only took about 20 seconds to be able to cut that out. So now I'm going to unload this. And I'm going to cut this out. The next thing I need to do is remove the parts that I don't want to stick to the shirt. And that will just peel right off. Just like that. I want to catch the corner, and I'm going to peel this off very slowly and expose all the different letters. And just like that, you have this ready to be able to put down on the shirt. So if I want to put that right there. Now you can kind of guess on here, but what I like to be able to do is put this about one hand down, just like that. And I want to make sure that it's level. And the easiest way to do that is with the square. You can set it right down there. You can make sure that it's aligned exactly where you want it. Just like that. Now because this has been setting a few minutes, I need to hit the start button and be able to bring the temperature back up. So that's the process that I go through to be able to design the logo, be able to cut it out on the machine, and set it up on the shirt. Don't forget, the heat press itself timed out and it cooled down, and that's a good thing. So it needs to be able to heat back up. Well, in addition to that, the shirt also cools down. So before you put that logo onto your shirt, you want to heat that shirt up again and then place the logo onto the shirt exactly where you want it. Now that this is all done, we're going to clear all. We're going to close this out, and I want to delete this. And I want to bring in another logo. So this time I want to bring in my logo, and I have the logo stored on the thumb drive. So I'm going to come right up here to where it says import. We're going to click on that, and I'm going to scroll down, and let's see, I think I want to pick this. And now this is a PNG file, so I'll click on it. and we'll be able to bring that in. So remember, the file was a PNG file. So I just hit the trace image, hit next, and then we'll be able to work with this file. So when you click on next, you're going to get this window. And from there you see the layered colors, which is black. That's exactly what we want. So then we can hit the import. At this point, I'm going to bring this up here. We'll reduce it down to a smaller size. We'll put it down to a 4-inch. Well, let's highlight it again. Bring that down to the 4 inches that we want. We'll slide it up here where it belongs. Right up there. Perfect. So at this point, there's really nothing else that we need to do to the image itself. We'll just go through the same procedure that we used before, go through our cut settings, and prepare this to be able to cut out onto the machine. And again, just like before, when we look at the cut list, you can see how the image is mirrored, and it's in the top right-hand corner. All that's left is to hit start, and we'll get this cut out. Just as before, you're going to notice that it takes a very short period of time to be able to cut out this logo. But I must say, it is kind of fun to watch and see it go through the cutting operation. Because actually in person, you can see the cutting much easier than on the camera. So let's prepare the shirt. I have the machine heated back up, and I have it on the pre-program on level 2 to be able to do this. Now remember, I'm heating the shirt to begin with without the logo, and that's important to be able to get the shirt hot and to be able to remove any moisture that may be in the shirt. Once the heating cycle is finished, it automatically raises the heating element, and I can pull the shirt out. At this point, I'm ready to attach the logo. So I just peel off that back. I have everything ready to go. I can place it exactly where I want it, as I had shown before. And remember, I want to make sure that it's aligned using that square also. So once I have everything set, the only thing that's left is I want to put this protective sheet down over the shirt and over the logo. And then I'll just slide the shirt in. I can hit the start button, and I can put this logo onto the shirt. And you can see it'll cycle through with the 320 degrees Fahrenheit, and it'll cycle through for this time period. And again, it'll automatically raise up once the cycle is completed. Then just simply remove the shirt, pull off the protective cover, and then that clear material, you can just simply peel that off. And your shirt is done. You can set it aside and let it cool. I think this looks absolutely fantastic. And the nice thing about it is it's easy to do, and it's a lot of fun. I know this video is a little bit long, but I wanted to be able to show you in detail every step that you possibly could need to be able to be successful with this final cutting. I do want to thank everybody for watching this video. I especially want to thank my Patreons who support this channel, which is just a tremendous, tremendous support that I get from that group. And I can't thank you enough for all the support that you give to me. At this point, I've shown you the complete step-by-step guide to exactly how to not only use the heat machine and the cutter, but also the software, and be able to show you the software from beginning of the design all the way through to the actual cutting. In addition to that, I took my own file, it's a PNG file, and converted it through the trace image and used that to be able to cut out and put it onto the shirt. So with this information, you now have everything that you need to be able to get started in your shop, to be able to design the different logos, to be able to cut them out, to be able to put them onto the shirt, and you have all the resources in one location to be able to help you out to get started. So I hope that you enjoyed this video today. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget, subscribe right down there. Hit that little bell notification. And I can't wait to see you real soon on the next project. So for now, bye-bye, everyone.